Hi, we are Group 24, and our group consists of Cheng Qian, Ren Fuxiang, Jeremy Ritjaja, and myself, Carrie. Our presentation will be based on a case study on the alliance and acquisition of a Nordic company called TeliaSonera in Eurasia. The TeliaSonera case states how they leverage alliances and acquisitions to grow in the Eurasia market. TeliaSonera, a Nordic company, was the result of the merger between Telia of Sweden and Sonera of Finland in 2002. They were ranked the fifth largest telecom operator in Eurasia, providing telecommunication services in a large geographic area, from Nordic countries to Nepal, which includes the emerging and highly valued Eurasian markets. The savvy use of risky alliances and acquisitions throughout Eurasia was the main factor that this Nordic company expanded in such politically risky and institutionally ambiguous setting. With the institutional differences between European and Eurasia market, TeliaSonera was faced with multiple challenges in its international expansion strategy. Nevertheless, TeliaSonera was able to minimize the risk of the challenges and differentiate itself from its competitors in the Eurasian market. In this video, we will identify three main challenges TeliaSonera faced when implementing its international expansion strategy with the institutional differences between the European and Eurasia market.
There are three main issues discovered in TeliaSonera's alliances and acquisition in Eurasia. The first issue is that TeliaSonera needs to overcome its liability of foreignness. The second issue is that TeliaSonera faced certain challenges due to weak institutional settings. And the third issue is that there was an ongoing political and security crisis involving terrorist attacks and union strikes. So, the first issue, which is TeliaSonera needs to overcome its liability of foreignness. Liability of foreignness describes the cost that firms operating outside their home countries experience above the incurred by local firms. TeliaSonera needs to leverage its telecom expertise developed in Nordic countries in Eurasia. TeliaSonera provided a better quality network than most of the local competitors in Eurasia. It makes TeliaSonera has a leading edge in Eurasia. This resulted in an increasing number of customers satisfied with the investment, and TeliaSonera became one of the world leading positions in most countries. The second issue is that TeliaSonera faced certain challenges due to weak institutional settings, especially in former Soviet Union countries in Eurasia. Countries in Eurasia was in different phase of transition to become a market economy, but the economic, legal, and regulatory systems were still highly bureaucratic and risky, which means the government is taking the important decisions instead of elected representatives. The ambiguity in institutional settings will bring additional risks to businesses, which basically increasing the cost of investment. Telecom industry such as TeliaSonera has further liability in terms of heavy infrastructure spending and related fixed costs. TeliaSonera has been successful in Eurasia due to its strong business and government ties that have been developed throughout the company for decades. And the third issue is that there was an ongoing political and security crisis involving terrorist attacks and union strikes, which negatively affected multinationals. TeliaSonera contributed to overcome host country difficulties, which commonly has a poor telecommunications. TeliaSonera offers these countries a world-class technologies, generating local jobs and employment opportunities. As a result, it makes an impact for those countries, as it increases the amount of local jobs and TeliaSonera networks increase rapidly.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm going to talk about analyzing TeliaSonera company by SWT model. SWOT analysis is a very useful model for a comprehensive analysis of a company from four parts, which namely strengths, weakness, opportunities, and theories. Strengths and weakness are internal to the company. That means it can be controlled and adjusted better. Opportunity and theories are external factors which are unpredictable, like customer shopping trends or development of competitors. A clear understanding of various internal and external factors that can affect a company's operation can help managers run the business better. The first one I would like to talk about is stress. TeliaSonera is the first operator to deploy a 4G network in Europe or around the world. Compared with local competitors, TeliaSonera's network investment is generally better in quality, which makes this company a leader in Eurasia. The high investment cost tend to bring more customers and make it still stand the top of the most countries. And the second part is weakness. TeliaSonera's institutional setting are weak, especially in the former stable Soviet Union countries in Eurasia. Economic laws and management systems remain highly bureaucratic and dangerous. Those blurred institutional framework bring additional risk, thereby greatly increasing the cost of investment. Infrastructure spending and related fixed costs are also a big liability. Next is opportunity of TeliaSonera. Compared with Europe, fixed landlines are least developed in Eurasia, which makes those countries more dependent on mobile networks. So, TeliaSonera has development potential here. The reduction of competitors is also a good external factor. In addition, the growing young population in Eurasia also provides great development opportunity for TeliaSonera. Finally, threats. In 2008, after TeliaSonera acquired an 80% stake in the Nepalese brand Mobile, the company grew into a leader in the GSM industry in Nepal, now called NCL. However, terrorist attack and unit strike pose a serious threat to the company. A continuing political and security crisis. In order to weather the crisis, NCL provided 500 stable jobs for locals. That's all of my part. Next, my friend will continue.
Thank you, Alex. My name is Chen Chen. I will continue to talk about the Porter's diamond. Porter's diamond model is used to analyze whether a certain industry of a country is competitive internationally. It has four factors. First one is factor condition. Factor condition refers to a country's factors of production that can make a competitive advantage. Most of the countries in Europe are developed countries, which also leads them to have advanced technology, strong knowledge, and good infrastructure. For TeliaSonera in particular, it is a consolidated company. The benefits of a merger are obvious because it has expertise in operating mobile companies in different countries. Second one is demand condition. Domestic demand market is the driving force of industrial development. The difference between the domestic market and the international market is that the enterprises can find the customers' demand in the domestic market in time, which is beyond that of the foreign competitors. Users have a huge and young customers who are more dependent on the internet. Secondly, there are fewer competitors here, so customer demand and customer loyalty are guaranteed. Next factor is related and supporting industries. To improve the quality of the Eurasian's network, the company has invested heavily in infrastructures. TeliaSonera mainly provides the necessary equipment for its own products and services. In addition, there are many large equipment manufacturers around the world. This means that if TeliaSonera is unable to provide itself with the necessary equipment, it can purchase it from its own suppliers. Strong suppliers create good competitiveness for the company. The last factor is company strategy, structure, and rivals. TeliaSonera aims to expand in and around Eurasia. As a result, it aims to increase ownership of core assets and make complementary acquisition within its existing business. As for competitors, the penetration rate of mobile networks in Eurasia is very low. Therefore, there are fewer competitors. In addition to the four factors, there are two more things: government and opportunity. Opportunities are out of control. The influence of government police cannot be ignored. This is all my part. Next, my teammate will give the conclusion and the recommendation.
In conclusion, in the competitive and rapid growing telecom market, the company's struggles faced in global expansion has to be handled in an orderly manner. Using the Porter's diamond model and the SWOT analysis, we can conclude that TeliaSonera, when facing challenges, will always look for new opportunities to break through and be the trendsetter in the highly dynamic and low penetration market. To counter the less developed institutional frameworks that is unstable and carries risk for investment, TeliaSonera forms strong business relationships with the governments of emerging economies. This causes the expansion of business to have a smooth transition. TeliaSonera also managed to differentiate itself in the Eurasian market by creating a competitive advantage on the basis of its world-class technologies for communication.